Today we're going to be doing a review on the M9 Wireless Lavalier mic system by FIFINE. And FIFINE were nice enough to send me a copy of this lav mic to review. I have not been paid for this, just for clarity's sake, so this is not a sponsored ad or a sponsored video. And I'm going to give my honest review on this, but just for your sake, you're currently hearing the audio come directly from the FIFINE lav mic connected to my t-shirt. And this is unedited, this is raw. So you're already able to make some of your own judgments when it comes to this. But if you're looking for something affordable and something that won't break the bank, but still give you a certain level of audio that you can compare to other lav mics, this might be a video that you want to watch. So let's go ahead and do some unboxing and see what's included in the packaging and do an in-depth review as to my thoughts on this lav mic. So let's crack this box open and see what's inside. So the first thing we come across is the carrying case, allowing us to encapsulate all the different parts inside and keeping it tidy. So as we open the carrying case, we see the charging case. And this is great, it has a nice sleek design, but not only that, you're able to charge both microphones as well as the receiver at the same time. Now, as we open the charging case, we'll see there are two wireless lavalier microphones. And this is great because it's ideal for interviews or dual host podcasts or dynamic presentations. Whichever the case, you can use both microphones at the same time. And like I've said in some of my previous videos, I really like it when manufacturers pay close attention to detail. I do like the smiley face on this microphone. I know it may not mean much to some, but for me, I think it's pretty nice. It's pretty standout-ish. But also I do feel like the quality is quite sleek as well. So even for an affordable lavalier mic, the microphone itself does have a nice build quality to it. As well as the microphone, you will also receive a compact receiver designed to plug seamlessly into your recording device. So you will get a cable that allows you to connect the receiver directly into your camera, but you'll also get some additional cables that allows you to connect your receiver to your phone or your mobile device in various different formats. So whether that is using an aux cable or whether that is using a USB-C cable. If you are using an older iPhone which uses lightning cable, you may have to get an extension cable with that, but it works with all different types of devices. You'll also get some windscreens that are essential for minimizing wind noise during outdoor shooting. And like I always say when it comes to audio tech equipment, the design is important, but it's not the most important feature. It's always going to be the sound. So let's go ahead and take this outside for an actual test. As you can see, grey clouds today. It is very windy and it has been raining, so the grass is very muddy, but this is what we have to do to get some real life testing in an environment which, you know, is unpredictable. The things I do for content. So even though it's windy, we do have the furry detachable windscreens which will help in cutting down some of the noise from the wind for better clarity. And if you're the type of content creator that likes to film in the outdoors whilst providing commentary, this will give you a better indication as to whether this microphone will work for you. Especially those as well who are influencers that like to conduct interviews outside as well. You can hold one of the mics to your mouth whilst holding the other mic to the person you're interviewing, and despite being outside, you are still able to get a reasonably clear piece of audio. So now you're able to get a better understanding of how this microphone sounds when you're outside, despite it being windy and despite general noise like the birds chirping. But this microphone also boasts being able to handle a distance from 100 feet from its receiver, so let's actually go ahead and give it a test. Okay, we will start our test now, making a bit of a walk. Hopefully you're still able to hear me. To about 100 feet. So we hit 160 feet, and yet it was still able to pick up the audio, so we can definitely say that this worked out well. There's not going to be many uses or many instances where you need to be that far from the actual camera itself, but just in case that option ever comes up, you do have the opportunity to use it in that regards. Now, one interesting feature that the microphone has is noise cancellation, and you can enable that directly on the microphone itself. So let's go ahead and give that an actual test. What I've got with me right now is my air purifier that I use indoors. So if I turn that on, so you can actually hear this now, it's probably picking up on the microphone. And I'm gonna enable the noise cancellation. And this is what it sounds when I'm using the noise cancellation. I may move this a bit further back, but still picking this up at the same time. This is what it sounds with the noise cancellation. Personally speaking, I would steer clear from the noise cancellation. I think it makes the audio sound a bit weird. And when I normally record videos, I would always do post-editing on the audio anyway. I do feel that the quality of the audio on this microphone in its natural state is fine. And I would personally just recommend doing post-editing once you've recorded it using this mic. Now let's delve into some more interesting facts about the M9. Starting with the charging case, it is equipped with a 1200 milliamp battery, so it can recharge the system from empty twice, offering approximately 5 to 6 hours of use per charge. And then we have the independent volume control. So the receiver allows separate volume adjustments for each microphone. So this accommodates various different speakers. So if you have a person that has a naturally louder voice using one microphone, and you do have a person that has a naturally quieter voice, you can set the volume of the microphones directly on the receiver. Then you have mono and stereo recording modes. And this can be enabled by clicking the mono stereo button on the side of the receiver. Now, this is quite interesting because if you select mono, you will combine the audio together. However, if you select stereo, you will isolate the inputs from each individual microphone to an individual channel. And this is good for people who want to have that flexibility when it comes to post-production. You can mute your individual mic by clicking the power button on the side of the microphone. When you take the receiver and the microphone out of the charging case, they should pair automatically when you turn them on. But in any case where you turn them on and they don't, you can click the pair button on the receiver and click the pair button on the microphone, and they should automatically sync together. I do think there are room for improvement, so if they were to make an additional iteration of this microphone, these are some of the points that I would look at. It does lack real-time monitoring, so there's no headphone jack on the receiver, which will allow you to have live audio monitoring, and this may be a drawback for some users. Also, there are no visual audio level indicators, so without level meters on the receiver or transmitter, setting precise input levels requires extra additional attention. If you're using a camera that displays the audio levels visually on the monitor, you may just be fine. But if you're using a mobile device or a tablet, for example, you may struggle with this missing feature. And for advanced audio users, gain control would be a nice feature to have with this microphone. Yes, it does have volume control, but having the ability to affect the loudness of the input would be a great feature to have. So, is the FIFINE M9 wireless microphone system worth your investment? For the price point of around £60 or $60, I really do think it offers a compelling mix of wonderful features. It is reliable when it comes to performance, especially when it comes to a substantial range. It's very convenient having a charging case for extended shooting, and it's very versatile in terms of compatibility with various different recording devices. And like I said, I do think the audio quality is very nice, as you can hear from the audio on this video. So overall, I do think the FIFINE M9 is a solid choice for content creators seeking an affordable, user-friendly wireless mic system. So whether you're vlogging, conducting interviews, or recording presentations, I do think it delivers dependable audio quality without stretching your budget. So let me know your thoughts. Is this the type of microphone you would use for content creation, for interviews, or your day-to-day vlogging? Is this something that hits the price point but still delivers the quality you require compared to other high-priced lavalier microphones? I do want to hear your comments below, so do feel free to drop a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.